About body modifications and individuality versus social perception. As many know, society has certain expectations of people that they expect to be followed, and if those expectations don't meet their standards, then those people will be seen as outcast. This shows how social perception has affected individuality. Individuality is something that should be expressed more, not hidden because of the fear of social perception and how it degrades one's self-expression. Therefore, society shouldn't judge those who have body modifications just because they are different, but they should embrace them and let people express themselves in a way that they see fit. Types of body modifications. Although there are many forms of body modifications, tattoos and piercings are the most common in today's society, and this is what we'll be connecting to throughout the PowerPoint. Expressing individuality. Although some people may not agree that tattoos and piercings are forms of expression, they are. People use tattoos and piercings in ways that are fashionable or even connected to their culture or whatever they see as a way to express themselves in order to show who they are. Oftentimes, people associate tattoos and piercings with gangs or some other form of criminal activity, judging them because of the modifications they have made to their skin. Just because a person has tattoos and piercings doesn't mean they're part of a gang or some other criminal activity. They have these tattoos and piercings to show who they are and separate themselves from others by being themselves. As the quote says, specific tattoos can have universal meanings or hold a special significance for individuals or members of a group. This meaning that people get tattoos and piercings to express themselves because it has some meaning to them that makes them who they are, so we shouldn't let society judge people because they are different, because they have body modifications. People should be able to be themselves without having to fear social perception. The picture shown is of a protester's tattoo making a statement against immigration. By making the statement against immigration, she's using this form of body modification, the tattoo, to use as a form of expression to show who she is and what she stands for, showing who she is as an individual. How place of employment affects those with body modification. So let's look at doctors and politicians versus athletes. How are they viewed differently and why? Doctors and politicians are supposed to be professional and uphold a certain image, while athletes also have to be professional. They are more laid back and people don't hold them to such high standards like doctors and politicians. Let's look at the quote. Inked and pierced job seekers could be sidelined even though they hold a college degree or a strong resume. Other employees are asked to maintain a professional appearance. So what we can gather from it is that it's basically about appearances. That's all it's about. If a doctor or a politician were to have tattoos and body piercings, they would be viewed differently within society because society expects them to look a certain way and act a certain way. That's professional. While athletes don't have such high standards as politicians and doctors, they have more leniency in a way that they can express themselves and how they use their body modifications to do it. Now, looking at the pictures, we can see how politicians and athletes differ. We can see how an athlete is able to show off their individuality by not having to cover up their tattoos or piercings with suits and long sleeves like politicians do. This here shows how place of employment affects body modifications by making those who have modifications cover up who they are and not let them show off their individuality. So as you can see, the politicians and all of them, they're all wearing suits and long sleeves to cover up, while the basketball player has tattoos running down his arm. He can have, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's tattoos on his knuckles. So you can see the difference between the two. Now let's move on to how social perception has changed. Body modifications have changed from cultural views to something that was once inappropriate but now viewed as fashionable. Therefore, everything has a different meaning to different people. With that being said, looking at the quote, Public opinion regarding body piercings and tattoos depends largely on the context, such as local culture, trending fashions, and the wearer's role in society. We can see that tattoos and piercings are so common in today's society that they are part of our culture and fashion trends happening around the world. So if a celebrity were to have tattoos and piercings running down their arms and legs, it wouldn't be a problem because those body modifications are so common in today's society that no one judges them because they are following the fashion trend and expressing who they are as an individual. There are those who still don't see body modifications as a form of individuality, and it is starting to become a common occurrence in society that will eventually push back the views of social perception. Now looking at the pictures, on the left we can see how warriors used to mark their skins like tattoos to show off their culture, with tribal markings to show who they were within society and how they were separate as an individual. On the right is a picture of my sister's tattoos. We can compare it to the left and see how things have changed over time. While tattoos were once used to mark warriors, they are now used not only for cultural aspects, but fashion. Each of my sister's tattoos have meaning for her, which allows her to express herself and show who she is as an individual. Although social perception views may not like these body modifications, they have become the common norm for people who have tattoos and piercings. Body piercings and tattoos are forms of body modifications that have existed for thousands of years and can be found in cultures around the world. Sorry, my phone's all over the place. Meaning that no matter the social perception of body modifications, it will continue to exist and change through time. So to bring it all together, we can see that body modifications are a form of expression that allows people to show their individuality, and that society shouldn't perceive them as different. People shouldn't let social perceptions define who they are, but should stand up against them and show that it's okay to be different. Having body modifications such as tattoos and piercings may make you different, but it is what makes you an individual, and individuality is what makes you who you are, no matter what people think. And before you leave or anything, some questions I want to ask are: how do you view people with tattoos and piercings? Do you fear social perception, and if so, why? Do you agree that body modifications such as tattoos and piercings are forms of expression, and why? And then here are some of my works cited if you want to go look at those. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks, bye.